There's an old saying, I complained about my shoes until I met a guy with no feet. Hi, my name is James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, I want to talk about Kody and his propensity to take his wives for granted and his situation for granted, and thinking, and selfishly and foolishly so, that all of his success and all of his lifestyle is from his benefit and from his efforts alone. Now, before we get into it, I first want to acknowledge and give thanks to all those people who have subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. For those of you who are not subscribed, I encourage you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Why? Because it helps the channel out, it helps me out, and hey, who doesn't want to help a brother out? So go ahead and hit that HBO special down below, which stands for Help a Brother Out Special. Click that subscribe button, click the bell, and hey, everybody, let's share these videos so we can get the word out so everybody will be excited and they'll feel good. Anyway, let's get it. Now, as I sat here and I thought about Kody, and this might come off as a bit of a rant, but I just want to get some things off my chest. When I sit here and I watch Kody and I watch him go through the troubles that he has with his wives, it occurs to me that part of Kody's complication and how he's addressing his wives is that Kody is in a situation where he's so used to these people being around for him and he's so used to them being there that he can't imagine a scenario or situation where they won't be there for him any longer, where they won't add to his situation, his lifestyle, his bank account. For instance, when Meri was having her issue with the catfish and she was thinking about leaving Kody, much to the dismay of Kody and the other sister wives, he confronted her about that, said that he felt betrayed and how she betrayed him, and oh look, you tried to leave me and you got tricked, so now you got to stay, and she stayed around. So now he went to Meri and told her, hey, basically I don't want to have a marriage with you because I can't trust you and I don't want to have that type of relationship, but you can still hang out and you can still invest money, you can still kick in the money to the TLC, from TLC into the family bank account, Kody Brown Entertainment, and you can still supply other resources to me and the family, but I don't want you around and I'm going to dismiss you as my wife. As far as I'm concerned, we're divorced. She can go marry somebody else for all I care. Yeah, you care up until the time that check stops. When it comes to Christine, he's mad about Christine leaving. He sat there and said the same thing to Christine. Yeah, I want to have a marriage where it's not an intimate marriage. We can kind of be like friends. We can just hang out and I can come over here and have full use of your house, full access to the kids, full access to you anytime I want. But I have no ties and no strings connecting you. And she was supposed to take that. Now he's upset and mad that she's talking about leaving him and she left him and she moved out and moved to another state. He's going through the same thing with Janelle. He doesn't want to give her a house. He tells her that he wants her to buy a home and she's supposed to just go out and do it. He's mad at her because she won't be submissive and she won't be subservient to the things that he wants. And he assumes that he can take this position and he can talk to her that way because he takes for granted that no matter how badly he treats her, she's always going to be there. This is part and parcel why I make such a point to say that if you have boundaries and you have standards, that you adhere to those boundaries and standards up front. You let the people know who you're dealing with, what your lines are, what lines that can't be crossed. If you cross this line, we're done. I don't care what's going on or how much I love you, how much I care for you. I will pack a bag and go. A lot of people, they have the big bright red line that if you start messing with my kids, I'm out. What I'm saying is, let's span that a little bit. If they go too far with you, if you're in a monogamous relationship and they're sitting there talking about they want to open the relationship up because they got somebody in mind who they want to try to bang out and want to test the waters a little bit, and that's your bright red line, then you let them know from the beginning, look, if you want to step out, you go ahead and step out, but you stepping out by yourself. When you step out on that branch, you stepping out on that branch, and that branch is going to break. You tell them straight up, and you adhere to those rules. And this is also part and parcel why I encourage people, before you get into relationships, that you take the time to get to know yourself and get to understand what it is you can take, what you can't take, what it is you want and what it is you don't want before you get into a relationship. That way, when you start to set these boundaries and you start to set these lines, you already know going into it. Look, there's certain things I'm not going to be able to do. It's just you understanding who you are and what you can tolerate. If you can't tolerate certain behaviors, certain attitudes, you can't tolerate getting cussed out, yelled at, bawled out in front of people in public, then you let them know from the top. If you do these things, that's a big red line. I'm not crossing that. You cross that line, we're done. And in this particular case, these ladies have absorbed and taken so much crap from Kody that he is under of the complete understanding that he can treat them any way he wants. He can say whatever he wants, and they're just going to take it. And not only are they going to take it, but they're going to continue supporting him. They're going to continue taking care of him. If you look at how he treats Janelle, he fully expects to be able to yell at Janelle, scream at Janelle, and she still take all of her money and all of her savings and purchase Christine's house because he told her to. And even if they break up, he fully expects to have access to that home and keep his name on that home. When Christine was talking about leaving and she was talking about selling the house, he wanted to take some of the money. What was he going to do with some of the money? He was going to offer some of the money back so he could buy the house from her. And it was some craziness like that he thought that because it's I'm me, that you're going to do everything to benefit me. You're talking about breaking up with these women as he's done with Meri, as he's done with Christine, as he's now doing with Janelle. He has no concept and understanding that when you break up with them, you lose access to the benefits that come along with them. When you kick them out, you don't get to come over their house on a random ass Friday night and say, hey, let's do this thing. Hey, let's do the naked mambo upstairs because Robyn's busy or she not feeling well and I got something I need to work out. You don't get to do that. You lose that access. You lose that benefit. The other part of this is, and that kind of goes to the bigger idea of when you have somebody who is used to a certain person, and this happens a lot of times because people stop communicating, they stop sharing the changes that occur in their life, and they start to look at one another as though you're just ordinary, you don't mean much, and you don't carry much value. As a man, and especially as a father, he should look at each one of those women who blessed him with children, that these women have sacrificed their bodies. In some cases, they've sacrificed their sanity because kids will drive you crazy, especially when you're doing these kids basically by yourself. You are in for some stuff. Like, you will feel like you losing your minds. There are times when you feel like, this is it. I have snapped. I'm going to go crazy. And I'm about to start busting the windows out of everything, and I'm going to run down the street in a diaper. Like, you're at that point sometimes when you're dealing with children. These women are dealing with these kids, in some cases, 7 kids by themselves. So hats off to you. And he doesn't recognize or appreciate the fact that not only have they sacrificed their time, energy, effort, and he said, I'm doing the same thing, but they've sacrificed their bodies. Their bodies have gone through major changes. Every time you get pregnant, your hormones and everything else change. Your body is just carrying around different. You carry your body different. And he doesn't respect those changes. Every one of those women has given him a child, and they've given them their womb. And he doesn't respect that, and he doesn't appreciate it. He doesn't appreciate the small things that they do. He doesn't appreciate and takes for granted that Meri was going to work, making money and bringing money into the household and helping to feed everybody and helping to clothe and put roofs over heads. The same thing with Janelle. She was going to work and she was helping throw money into the pot. And they were providing not just moral support, but they were actually providing financial support. Janelle, she was doing the accounting work. She was taking care of the taxes. So this is all the things that are coming off of Kody's plate. Christine, she was coming in, she was babysitting the children. She was homeschooling them. She was the one who arranged the holidays, birthdays, and in most cases, she was probably the one who reminded Kody that, hey, this is Gavin's birthday. You need to call him. Hey, we're planning a party for Gavin or for Garrison or for McKelty or whoever, Ariel or whatever, and we're planning these parties and you need to come. And she was probably the person who went out and this is the gift you're giving him, Kody. So it was almost like an assistant that he looks over that and doesn't see the contributions that they're making to his life to improve his life, and he takes all that for granted. He just thinks it's on automatic. He's like the bad roommate who leaves dishes in the sink and just assumes that the dish fairy is coming down washing the dish and cleaning the counters and cleaning up the kitchen after they go to bed. Hey, don't leave those dishes where they are. The dish fairy is going to come down and clean up the kitchen. It's magical. No, mother, it's me. I'm the one doing it. I'm the damn dish fairy. Do your dishes. And that's where Kody is. Like, he doesn't see the benefits that these people are contributing to his life. Now, the question is he's starting to take them for granted and he's getting too big for his britches? There is a question that I have to say. A lot of us have kind of suspected that, Janelle and Christine, they could probably leave and go get their own show. And if Meri, she doesn't stay with the family and she gets fed up and she leaves, then what happens to Kody and Robyn? Well, the question is that when Meri, Janelle, and Christine leave and they're fed up, they're taking their bank books with them. And that's what Kody's like when he was yelling at Christine, well, I want somebody coming after my money, which is basically, I don't want anybody using your money or the TLC money that we get. I don't want them to start sending you part of that, your brick of that change, breaking your change off and sending you your cut. I want all that money to continue to come into Kody Brown Entertainment, not to Christine Brown or Janelle Brown or Meri Brown. I want that big lump sum check to come into me, and I spend it how I see fit. And that's what Kody has been able to do, and he's taken all that for granted. Now, if these women leave and they get their own show, and he no longer has access to that money, and he has no say in that money, now all of a sudden it's Robyn and Kody, and it begs the question, what happens to their financial outlook at that point? Because Robyn doesn't work, and Kody's work is spotty at best. A lot of people, we talk about like he and that guy that he married have a business where they go to sportsman events, gun shows, and they try to sell their wares there, and he's doing cameos. That kind of thing is not paying for $1 million home. So a lot of the money that he has coming in from sister wives is what's funding their life and lifestyle. So it begs the question that, okay, well, Kody can go out and he can get future wives. Well, here's the thing. If Kody went out and he met and tried to marry younger, prettier wives, these younger and prettier wives are not going to come in and do the same type of labor that Christine, Meri, and Janelle are doing. They're not going to come in there and start handing you their check. They're not going to do it. And even if they did, they'll probably be in a position where they're not making enough to be able to sustain the lifestyle that you've laid out for yourself. They're not going to be able to take care of Robyn and themselves and their household. So it's going to create a different situation. So as much as he may complain, he seems to fail to understand. And this is a problem with a lot of middle-aged people, guys and girls, men and women, that they hit a certain age and they start to look at their partner and say, well, I can go do better and I can swap them out for a younger, fitter version of what this is, assuming that the contributions that that new person is going to make is going to be the same or greater than the contribution than the person that you were with was making to you. And that's where you get tripped up, because the woman who struggle with you and help you build an empire is coming in with a different mentality towards the empire and sustaining and maintaining the empire than a woman who walks in and you already have everything, or a guy who shows up and you already have a big house, nice car, big job, and all that, big bank account. That person who comes in and knows you as the wealthy one, like Robyn, she came into the relationship, they got married, and he bought her a house. When these women leave, if you can't continue to maintain Robyn at that point, Robyn does not strike me as the struggle type of chick. She don't strike me as the we get knocked down and then we gonna get back up together. She don't strike me as that kind of person, and that's not even a shot at Robyn. It's just who you are, and understand and accept who you are. If you're not the kind of person who's trying to go backwards, you're not trying to move from $1 million home into a trailer or an RV, because they had a lot to say about Janelle moving into that RV when she had nowhere to go. And she hit struggle mode, because that's where she was. She was in struggle mode. Like we've kind of glanced over that, but she was struggling. And she had to get an RV because she had nowhere to live. Robyn is not trying to live in an RV. She talked all kinds of junk about Janelle living in that RV. You think if Janelle, Meri, and Christine leave and they bank book leave and all of a sudden Kody's broke, that Robyn's trying to move into an RV? Are you kidding me? Dude, she gonna divorce you and take what little bit of money you got. She gonna scrape the bottom of the barrel on you. So you have to be honorable about the things that you have. Be appreciative about the gifts you have, and recognize the gift of presence that the people who mean something, who genuinely care about you, and people who are adding to your life, you cherish those people. You take care of those people. You honor those people. If Christine leaves and you guys are in a situation, instead of you trying to be the bitter crab and yell and break out on everybody and yell and scream and hoop and holler and feel bad for yourself and throwing temper tantrums, you appreciate the fact that this is the mother of your children, and you try to have a relationship with her beyond the marriage that you had and failed at. You want to have a positive relationship with her, not just for Truly's sake. That would be a noble thing for you to try to have a positive relationship with your ex for your child. But there's no reason why you can't have a positive relationship with your ex. You guys can't sit in a room and talk and have a conversation. Nobody say you got to be best friends, but you should be able to depart and leave in a space where you both can maintain your dignity and maintain who you are and be able to talk to each other cordially. And that is the most ideal situation. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living life right like I